All right, let's talk about a really powerful technique called Supervised Fine-Tuning, or SFT for short. We're going to break down how you can take a general, off-the-shelf AI and turn it into a custom-built expert that's trained perfectly for exactly what you need.
So you've got access to one of these amazing, powerful language models, right? It knows a ton of stuff. But when you try to get it to do a very specific job, it just doesn't quite get it. The answers are too generic, it ignores the format you asked for, it just feels like you're not on the same page.
I mean, look at this. You're trying to get it to act like a support agent, creating a ticket with a very specific structure, but what you get back is a generalist who just says, here's some info. You're asking for a specialist and you're getting a librarian. So how in the world do you bridge that gap? Well, that's where supervised fine-tuning comes in. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a specialized onboarding program. You've just hired a brilliant, knows everything new employee, your AI, and now you have to train them to do their very specific job, your way. So what is it really? SFT is just the process of teaching that new AI the rules of the road for your company. You give it a curated employee handbook full of examples showing it exactly how to respond, what format to use, and what style to adopt. It's how we turn that brilliant generalist into an assistant that actually understands your world and your rules. And why would you do this? It really boils down to two main things. First, template control. This is all about the how. You're forcing the AI to stick to a script, whether that's a chat format or a strict data output like JSON. And second, domain adaptation. This is about the what. You're teaching it your industry's jargon, your professional standards, all that niche knowledge it wouldn't know otherwise. But hold on. SFT is powerful, but it's not the first thing you should reach for. It takes time and data. So you should always try to get what you want with just clever, expert-level prompting first. It's only when you've hit a wall and prompting just isn't cutting it that you should bring out the big guns and consider SFT. Okay, so you've decided SFT is the right move. Great. Sticking with our onboarding analogy, you can't just throw the new hire in the deep end. You need a training plan. And that means you need to create the training manual and set the study schedule. Now, listen up, because this is probably the single most important part of the whole process. The training manual, your data set of examples, is the foundation for everything. And the quality here is absolutely non-negotiable. You've heard it a million times. Garbage in, garbage out. High quality, clean, super relevant examples are the only way you're going to get a high quality, specialized model.
Next up, you set the study schedule using these training parameters. Think of these as dials you can turn. How many times should the AI read the manual? How many pages should it study at once? And how fast should it try to learn the new info? Each one of these is a trade-off. It's a real balancing act between learning fast and actually understanding the material without just memorizing the answers.
Okay, so the plan is set, the manual is ready, and training is officially underway. But how do you know if it's working? Is your AI actually learning anything, or is it just staring out the digital window, daydreaming? Well, you've got to check its progress report. In machine learning, that progress report is a graph called a loss curve. It sounds technical, but the idea is simple. It's a chart that shows how wrong the model's answers are over time. As it learns, its predictions get better and better, closer to the right answers in your manual, so that loss value goes down. It's our main window into the AI's brain. But we're looking at more than just one number. The real story comes from comparing two key things, the training loss and the validation loss. Training loss is like checking how well it does on the practice questions it's been studying. But validation loss, that's the pop quiz. That's how well it does on new questions it has never seen before. And this right here, this is what you want to see. This is a healthy learning curve. See how both lines, training and validation, go down together and then nicely level off? That's the jackpot. It means your AI isn't just memorizing facts, it's learning the underlying patterns. It actually gets it. But then, sometimes, you see this. And this is a huge flashing red flag. It's called overfitting. The training loss keeps dropping, meaning it's acing the practice tests. But the validation loss, the pop quiz score, starts to go back up. This means your model just memorized the study guide. It's a terrible student that can't think for itself. And here's the other big problem you might see: underfitting. The curves are just flat, they barely move. This is your new hire just sitting in the training room, completely zoned out. The information is not sinking in at all, and you've got to change up your training plan fast. Now, the best part about seeing these warning signs is that you can actually do something about them. They give you direct feedback. Seeing overfitting, maybe train for less time or get better data. Seeing underfitting, maybe you need to crank up the learning rate. These curves aren't just grades, they're a roadmap for how to improve.
So, let's say you've navigated all that. You've tweaked the dials, your loss curves look beautiful, and the model has clearly learned its lessons. The onboarding program is over. It's graduation day. But there are just a couple of final checks before we can let it start working for real.
Think of this as the final exam and an exit interview, all rolled into one. You give it one last test on data it's never ever seen. You make absolutely sure it's following your formats and rules every single time. And, this is crucial, you document everything, so you know exactly how you achieve this success and can do it again.
And that's really it. Once you master supervised fine-tuning, you're not just a passive user of AI anymore. You've become a trainer. You can build your own custom specialists, tailored to solve your unique problems. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?